Well, hello there, I'm Christina, I'm 2E0 KSH, that's my call sign, and I'm a member of Sheffield and District Wireless Society, and one of my roles is providing some training to foundation students, and with this video I hope to be able to give you an introduction to the foundation course. The purpose of the video really is to enable a bit of self-learning, because we do get students coming along throughout the year at any time and who are quite keen to get on with a bit of learning. And with it being an easy and straightforward course, I'm hoping that this video will help to get people along, and combined with a bit of buddying and mentoring from a member of the Sheffield and District Wireless Society, we can hopefully get you through to the exam with the full knowledge that you require. So on with it then. I'm going to have to give thanks to the Cheltenham Amateur Radio Society because it's the PowerPoints from which I've used that they've created. So it's fair to give credit and my thanks to them for helping with that process. There are wireless societies, radio societies up and down the country, Cheltenham being one. And I represent Sheffield and District Wireless Society, and local to us in Sheffield are the Worksop Club, Barnsley, the other Sheffield Club, and various contesting groups such as the 93 contesting group. We meet on a Wednesday night, usually on the first and third Wednesdays, and they are our formal sessions. And we also have socials and training on the second and fourth Wednesday. So they're a bit more relaxed. And we base them at the Rutland Hotel, which provides us with a free meeting facility and bar area. And this means that we don't have to charge for membership fees or subscription fees. Like any club, such as Sheffield, Worksop, Barnsley, Cheltenham, Chesterfield, and various clubs up and down the country, we do this training in which to get you involved in the hobby and to find new members to come and join the ranks, really. There's so much to the hobby, it's an enjoyable hobby, and one of the things of doing this is to get you more active. And I would have to actually say that the more active you are in sort of a radio club local to you, you'll find that you'll be more engaged and more encouraged to do more in the hobby. It is quite true that a lot of people who do come and turn up to do their foundation courses, once they leave and go away and don't come back, you kind of don't hear them very much on the air again. So being in a club or radio society is very beneficial to help enhance your enjoyment of the hobby. So do that, bear that in mind. Do keep going and do get involved. You don't have to go regularly, but many of the clubs up and down the country will very much welcome you. So on with this foundation introduction then. Traditionally there was prior to the 3-level system we've got, which is a foundation level, intermediate level and full license level, full advanced. The full licence before that used to take about 2 years of learning at a night class, and that was quite intensive with a lot of learning about maths and so on. So there's a lot of work involved, and most of those people would have had the old G call signs, which in the course I'll explain a little bit more about. So that was what traditionally used to happen, and in essence that's a long effort. And the whole purpose of the foundation licence really is aimed towards getting people at their first licence and to get on air as quickly and easily as possible. So you've got some very basic knowledge to learn. There are some people who won't find the knowledge hard at all, will find it very, very easy and can get on with it. And if you're someone like myself who was new to the knowledge of what amateur radio offers, it took me a little bit of learning to get used to it. So the foundation itself can be learnt and obtained over a weekend or over a short course. At Sheffield and District Wireless Society, we prefer sort of a structured course, a proper course, which gives you time to enjoy your learning at a relaxed pace, rather than speeding and rushing through just to get the ticket. Mainly because it's better retention of information and knowledge if you're taking your time to do it, no matter how basic and easy the course is. So the course itself and the hobby is really all about self-learning. So with this video, which you can use to keep watching, etc., and the whole series of videos we're going to be doing on this theme for the foundation course, it's sort of trying to encourage you to continue with your learning once you've gained your foundation licence. So you're encouraged to aim for the intermediate and for the full licence naturally at your own pace, rather than having to do this full intensive 2-year course, which is what used to happen before. Now, the youngest person, not putting any pressure on you here, the youngest person to obtain a foundation licence was a 7-year-old girl who passed first time. And I'll tell you now, somebody who will do the exam will fail. And it's not easy and what have you, once you've sort of learnt that you failed, but it will and can and does happen. So there could be a number of reasons for that. Either your own learning needs. If you do have some difficulties, then do talk to the trainers such as myself or a trainer at your own local club. Or you may not have done much reading, and I've seen that happen as well. So the tip really is, do your reading, do what you're advised to learn as much as you can, and talk to members in your amateur radio club that you visit, and sort of get to know people, and that will certainly help you with your learning as you go along. So what's involved in the course then? Now the course at Sheffield Wireless Society is free. We do provide a free course. Other clubs, depending on where you go, may have to charge because they've got a room to pay for or facilities to pay for. We're quite fortunate at the Sheffield Wireless Society. And within this course there are several easy modules, which is as follows. In here, the introduction to the foundation course. And then the next video we'll be talking about the nature of amateur radio. We'll be talking about safety with amateur radio, licensing conditions for the foundation holder, so that's quite important to understand. Propagation, how we can make use of the sun, how we can make use of the daylight, and what's going on out in the air in which to propagate and make radio signals and to receive them. So useful lesson on that. We will also talk about antennas and feeders and the different antennas available and the different kinds of coax feeders to feed between your transceivers and your antennas. And we'll also talk about transmitters and receivers and the difference between them and how they work, just as a basic understanding. There will also be a video and tutorial and module on EMC, which is electromagnetic compatibility, how any transmissions you send could interfere, or how other electronic items could interfere with your radio transmissions and receiving. So EMC is a pretty important topic, which can also be a bit of a pain for many radio amateurs. So there's a topic there that's well worth getting to know about and learn. Then we'll get into some technical basics, but the very, very, very basic. Foundation license holders are not able to use transceivers or radios and to transmit on them using a radio which has been amended or which has been constructed. So foundation license holders have to purchase a commercial radio. They're the sorts of radios you're allowed to buy that's off the shelf, for the simple reason foundation license holders are not trained to build and test equipment. So you'll be relying on commercial equipment. But there are some basics in there that will hopefully give you an introduction of the technical aspects of the hobby. We've thrown in there something about understanding repeaters, and something called CTCSS. Repeaters for foundation holders, for people who are new to the hobby, are very, very useful for foundation license holders, as it's a cheap and quick way of getting you on the air using repeaters. Some would argue it's not real radio, but then others would argue, well, actually it is, because you're still using a handheld. So they do provide a very, very good start. So there'll be a video and a module on repeaters. Within the foundation is going to be a need for an appreciation of Morse code. You will not have to learn Morse code per se. You won't have to learn the dits and dars and the different letters and what they mean. What you'll be expected to do within the assessment for the Morse code is to look at the sheet and to be able to listen to the sound and then work out, using the sheet, which letter those codes were. And then you'll write those down and you'll have received the message and work out what that message is. And then likewise, using the sheet, you'll be expected to transmit a Morse code message in return. So it's very basic. It's just giving you a basic appreciation of Morse code, which so there's nothing to worry about with that particular element. And of course, once you've passed that, you may be interested in learning Morse code as you progress within the hobby. And then the practical assessments, which is quite important. And those practical assessments are really about establishing if you can safely put together a transmitting station, if you can tune into frequencies, and for you to call on to particular frequencies, etc. Now, these practical assessments are quite important. There was a question I heard quite recently on a repeater, where someone, an M6, sort of saying, well, whilst they were learning, they didn't agree with the fact that non-licensed holders are not allowed to transmit. And they thought, well, why can't they actually pick up and transmit and ask a simple question about their learning? It's a valid question, but actually it's not the right way. It's not the right way forward. And the reason is the full call sign holder, or the licensed amateur that's already on the air, they do not know, with you as an unlicensed operator, whether you are transmitting safely. They don't know if you've been observed or watched or assessed, etc. And certainly, in allowing you to transmit without a license will encourage others. So really, that's a no-no. The practical assessments there enable licensed amateurs and licensed trainers just to assess that you are doing things safely. So do not think about going on air, because you would not be licensed to do so. And then, of course, at the end of that would be the preparation for the exam. There'll be something about the score sheet that we'll need to talk to you about, so that you're clear on that. And the preparation in terms of doing a few mocks to help you feel that you're ready and confident to go for the exam. So that's what's involved. So a little bit more about the practicals that I've mentioned. There is a purple record of achievement paper that you will be provided with, and that's got a series of instructions which I'll show you on this screen, which the trainers would tick and sign to say that you have completed those elements, and you would bring that to the exam with you. It's just a record to demonstrate your competency with activities, and there's 8 sets of activities to complete. One of them is to tune a VHF/UHF transceiver to FM and to data, and to read the signal meter. That's one activity. Another is to demonstrate the correct use of a VHF and UHF transceiver and make an appropriate contact, exchanging details, etc. Another is to tune in a HF transceiver to an SSB voice and Morse signal and read the signal strength meter. Fourthly, you'll need to be able to demonstrate the correct use of an HF transceiver in an SSB contact and to exchange details. And then fifth, to be able to demonstrate a CQ call on VHF UHF and to initiate a QSY, a change of frequency off the calling channel. And then fifth, you'll need to have the ability to demonstrate connecting a transceiver to a power supply, to an antenna and to the feeder, and to ensure that you are safe in doing that. And then seventh, the seventh activity is to demonstrate using a 2-meter dipole antenna with adjustable elements and to be able to adjust that so that the SWR, the standing wave ratio, varies as the elements are varied, and you need to be able to demonstrate that you can set it up for the minimum SWR. What we don't say in amateur radio is SWR. We don't swar in the reader. It's SWR. That's the correct way of saying that, just to be clear. And then finally, you'll be have to have a go at sending and receiving Morse code as part of the practical. Through those activities, the appropriate trainer, the correct trainers, will also show you the different features on the radio that you're using, such as the squelch, such as the RF, the AF, and various other features. So a good demonstration on radios and what's involved in the radios that you're using will also be a part of that learning and assessment process, so that you feel confident and competent to use the radio and undertake those activities. So there's a lot in there. And so going back to my earlier point as to why you're not allowed to key up as an unlicensed person, well, you need to demonstrate competency and safety in all of those features. And that's why really, as an unlicensed person, you're not allowed to transmit. So, moving on from that. A benefit of that purple document that you will sign up is, with that, once it's signed by a trainer, you can actually go on air and operate under supervision of the station of a full licensed UK radio amateur holder, using their call sign or a club call sign. So this means you can actually join in with contesting or events straight away, but you must have that purple document, and as I say, you must always be under the supervision of a full licence holder. So that's not a foundation holder or even an intermediate holder such as me currently right now. It's got to be under the supervision of a full licence holder. So that's one way of having fun and getting on air whilst you're in a club or radio society environment. So bear that in mind. Just take a cup of tea. So what's a part of the learning process then? Well, there's going to be set presentations, PowerPoint presentations. These PowerPoint presentations I've got here are, again, part of the Cheltenham Amateur Radio Society, but something I've done for my own design and in my own way. And will guide you through the foundation handbook in a very structured way without stress. And the learning can be undertaken in a number of ways depending on the timing in the year and the availability of volunteers, the availability of courses, or your own willingness for guided and structured self-learning through these videos. Now, this course is run by Sheffield and District Wireless Society, and the timing may be tweaked to suit your progress depending on your speed, your process, etc. And the Rutland Hotel where we are based, that is registered with the Radio Society of Great Britain as an exam centre. On our website we have a page called the Learning Centre, and that's at sheffieldwireless.org, so www.sheffieldwireless.org. There's a learning centre there, and that consists of a forum, and you would need to have a login account. And that learning there is voluntary, and it helps us as trainers to keep you on track. And within the PowerPoint presentations, I've also added in some easy and non-taxing homework. Yeah, nobody likes homework, but the aim of that is to get you doing stuff practically at home or doing a bit of research, some easy stuff, but it's entirely voluntary. Of course, it may or may not help you with your learning and may or may not help you with passing your exam, but it's there just to add a little bit of value to your learning. That's up to you whether you do that. Whilst we at Sheffield Wireless do advocate a slower, steady and more structured pace for your learning, you can choose whether you want to do the exam. So if you want to do it within next week or the next couple of weeks, that's fine. But that's obviously on your head. And we'll support you as much as we can. But we are offering a course in a structured way, which is easy for everyone that's concerned. So if you want to do the exam, then do ask. Now that's the Foundation Licence Handbook. You'll see that. And if you go to amazon.co.uk as a website, you can actually order that online. If you can think of the Rifleman's Creed, in a very well-known film, the name of which I forgot, I've written a little bit of text here. This is my handbook. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My handbook is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I must master my life. My handbook without me is useless, and without my handbook, I am useless. I must read my handbook true. That handbook is the one thing that will help you to pass your exam. It's got all the information that you require in it. So I do hope you enjoyed that little verse. So the exam then. It currently costs £27.50, depending on the timing of this video. So do watch out for current costs. And it lasts for about 55 minutes and there are 26 multi-choice questions. The pass mark for the exam is 73% or 19 correct questions. And with regards to the question structure, there are 6 on licensing conditions, 4 on technical basics, 3 questions on transmitters and receivers, 3 on feeders and antennas, 2 on propagation, 3 on EMC, electromagnetic compatibility, and 3 on operating practices and procedures, with 2 questions on safety. And for us, to ensure impartiality and prevent any bias or cheating, the exam is normally invigilated by Steve G0EAK from the Worksop Amateur Radio Society, with someone with whom we have good links and a good rapport with. And our Sheffield Wireless Society has a registered exam centre based at the Rutland Hotel, either in the Dovedale or the Panel Suites. So that's the exam. The timetable and structure really, the learning modules will be roughly as follows, but we can do it quicker and combine sessions together. But we're looking at Module 1 with an introduction to the foundation, Module 2 the nature of amateur radio, Module 3 on safety, licensing conditions, propagation, antennas and feeders, EMC, technical basics and understanding repeaters. And then after that we've got a section on the Morse appreciation and the practical assessments to getting on the air. Then it's the exam. A lot to get through, but relatively easy to do as well, so I wouldn't worry about that. This information, when we go through the course, you'll be able to take it in and you'll be absolutely fine. Trust me. So obviously we know that you're going to be interested in signing up. We'd love to have you at Sheffield and District Wireless Society, so do come and join us if you wish. There's no membership fees, no subscriptions. Or if you go to the RSGB website, which is www.romeosierragolfbravo.org, I believe, and you can actually do a search on that website with the RSGB and look for a radio club that is close to you. And then you can approach them and find out when they start their courses, etc. But of course, hopefully, you'll be coming along to join us at the Sheffield Wireless Society, and we look forward to seeing you. And that's it really. If you have any questions or if you want to send us an email, you can send us an email to sheffieldwirelesssociety@gmail.com. So again, sheffieldwirelesssociety@gmail.com, and that's there right at the bottom just there. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and thanks for watching. 73 for now. Bye bye.
Bye.